Dear TV viewers, hello and welcome to this lesson aimed at pupils of 9th form of basic education. Today's lesson is entitled Tourism. Let's start by talking about traveling and travel. Why do you think people like to travel? Some people like to travel to visit tourist monuments. When we go to Paris, we go to visit the Eiffel Tower, and anyone who goes to India visits its famous monuments, which is a way of discovering new cultures, and which is in itself enjoyable and fun. We can say that traveling is a means of entertainment. But when we travel, do we always speak the Arabic language? Of course not. When we go to a place where people do not speak Arabic, we need to use a foreign language. So we can say that traveling enables us to practice and improve the foreign language. But what else comes into our mind when we speak about the traveling and tourism? Other than sightseeing, which we have already spoken about, the word holidays come into our mind. We may travel when we are on holidays. Where do we stay when we travel? Normally, we stay in hotels. How can we book in hotels? How can we reserve in hotels? Travel agencies offer many services, such as booking in hotels, booking flights, and organizing trips. And how do people travel? We need means of transport. We can go by car if we are not going far, or we can use the ship and the ferry. If you want to go to Kirkana, we need to go by ferry, and if you want to go to Spain, we can use the ship, or we can go by plane, which is the quickest and the most practical means of transport. This is a picture of a plane flying in the sky. Let's have a look at the inside of this plane. There are many seats. Some of them are near the windows. We call them window seats. The other seats are not near the windows. They are near the aisles. We call them aisle seats. So there are two types of seats: window seats and aisle seats. Let's move now to the inside of the airport. As you can see here, there are many check-in desks. Anyone who travels needs to go through these desks to check in his luggage, because anyone who travels needs to bring his luggage with him. Of course, luggage means any suitcases or bags used to travel. This is an example of luggage. These are pieces of luggage. But what else do we need when we want to travel? Surely we need a passport and a plane ticket. These are the pictures of a passport and of a plane ticket. This is a view taken from a plane. But how can we see such a view? From a window seat or from an aisle seat? Obviously, we can see such a view from a window seat. Can we see it when the plane is flying up in the sky? Of course not. We can see it only if the plane is landing or if the plane is taking off. Where does a plane take off? Or where does a plane land? A plane lands at the airport. This is a picture of an airport. Let's go back to the inside of the airport. These, as we have said already, check-in desk. This is a series of check-in desks. Joe is a passenger. He is now waiting to check in his luggage. He is at Heathrow Airport. He is having a conversation. This is another view of Heathrow Airport. Joe is having a conversation with the woman at the check-in desk. Let's read the conversation together and replace the pictures with their appropriate words. The woman says, "Can I have your and your, please?" What does the woman ask for? Normally, she asks for a ticket. This is the picture of a ticket. And for a passport. This is the picture of a passport. The woman says also, how many have you got? Just this one. How many what? She surely asks for luggage. Can we say the word luggage here? No, we can't, because we have how many. With how many, we cannot use uncountable nouns. We can only use countable nouns. So we can choose between the word suitcase or the word bag. So we have the picture of a bag. We should say, how many bags have you got? Just this one. The woman says, did you pack yourself? Here we can choose between the word luggage, bags, or suitcases. This is a picture of luggage. Did you pack your luggage yourself? Yes, I did. The woman says, have you got any in your? What can she ask for now? Of course, for safety in plane, they normally ask for knives and scissors. Have you got any sharp items in your? Where shouldn't we put these items when we go into the plane? We shouldn't put them in our hand bag. Have you got any sharp items in your hand luggage? Joe says, no, I haven't. The woman, and would you like a or an? Now she is not asking. She wants him to choose between two things. Let's have a look at the answer of Joe. Joe says, okay, I would like an aisle seat. So obviously, she wants him to choose between two kinds of seats. The first picture is the picture of a window seat. So she says, and would you like a window seat, or the other type is, of course, the aisle seat. Okay, I would like an aisle seat. The woman says, okay, you are in seat 32C. Here is your... What does she give him? This is a picture of a document. Of course, it's not a ticket, but it is a boarding pass. We can say boarding pass, and we can also say boarding card. Joe says, which gate is it? The woman, gate 23. Enjoy your trip to Tunisia. So, Joe is coming to Tunisia. Joe says, okay, thank you very much, goodbye, thank you, bye-bye. Before coming to Tunisia, Joe visited many places. This graph shows us the places that Joe visited. There are many numbers, 7 numbers, so there are 7 places. In picture number 1, we can see the Eiffel Tower. Did Joe visit the Eiffel Tower? Let's see. Joe says, I have enjoyed the view from the Eiffel Tower. So yes, Joe visited Paris. After that, Joe saw kangaroos. Which place is famous for kangaroos? Obviously, Australia. Joe says, I have flown to Australia where I saw kangaroos. The arrow takes us to picture number 3, which is the Statue of Liberty. Joe visited New York then. In fact, he says, I have looked at New York from the top of the Statue of Liberty. What's next? Let's follow the arrow. In number 4, we have the picture of Big Ben. Did he go to Britain? Big Ben is in London. Joe says, I have seen and heard Big Ben in London. After Britain, we can see bullfighting. Bullfighting is found in Spain. Joe says, I have watched some bullfighting in Spain. After Spain, the pyramids. Joe visited the pyramids in Egypt. Joe says, I have been to Egypt to admire the pyramids. The last picture is the picture of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Joe says, I have visited the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy. He's a lucky person. He has gone to many places. Let's look at all the sentences he said together. I have enjoyed the view from the Eiffel Tower. I have flown to Australia where I saw kangaroos. I have looked at New York from the top of the Statue of Liberty. I have seen and heard Big Ben in London. I have watched some bullfighting in Spain. I have been to Egypt to admire the pyramids. I have visited the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy. Let's focus now on the verbs. How many parts are there in each verb? There are 2 parts, the auxiliary have and the past participle of the verbs. When did all these visits take place? In the past, of course. But do we know exactly when they happened? We don't, of course, because there is no indication of that in any of the sentences. This means that we do not say, I have seen and heard Big Ben in London last year. We rather say,